The Islamic Resistance Movement of Lebanon, Hezbollah, confirmed the assassination of its Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah. Heads of the states and government representatives continue to take the floor on Saturday, the fifth day of the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly. And Mexico and the U.S. have been hit by two powerful cyclones that have so far left more than 60 people dead, severe flooding, and extensive damage to property. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the TeleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We'll be with the news. Stay with us. The Islamic Resistance Movement of Lebanon, Hezbollah, confirmed the death of its Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah as a consequence of one of Israel's aerial bombardments south of Beirut. Through a communique, the resistance highlighted the commitment of Hassan Nasrallah to the defense of the Palestinian cause and his unconditional support to the people of Gaza. During the last week, tensions intensified due to the Israeli attacks against Hezbollah and civilian areas in Lebanon. Actions that Nasrallah condemned and denounced as a side of war perpetrated by the Israeli regime. Still in Lebanon, authorities confirmed the assassination of the Hezbollah Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah, at the age of 64, in the midst of an Israeli bombardment of the city of Beirut. Nasrallah was born on August 31 in the 60 in the Lebanese city of Abu Hammoun. He rose to the prominence as Secretary General of the political parties and armed corps of Hezbollah in 1992. He was a central figure in the struggle against the Israeli occupation. During his leadership, the Lebanese resistance became one of the most politically influential organizations in the Arab region. Nasrallah was a fervent supporter of the Palestinian cause and provided military and logistical assistance in their confrontation against the Tel Aviv regime. The Lebanese resistance movement Hezbollah confirmed the assassination of its Secretary General Hassan Nasrallah at the hand of the Israeli occupation forces. The Lebanese resistance issued a communique in which he stated His Eminence Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, Secretary General of Hezbollah, joined his great and immortal martyrs whose journey he led for almost 30 years, during which he led them from victory to victory, succeeding the masters of the martyrs of the Islamic resistance in 1992 until the liberation of Lebanon in the 2000s, and until the divine and sustaining victory in 2006, and other battles of honor and redemption until the battle of support and heroism of support of Palestine, Gaza, and the oppressed Palestinian people. The document further states, Hezbollah leadership pledged to the highest, holiest, and most precious martyrs of our journey full of sacrifices and martyrs to continue his to confront the enemy in support of the Gaza and Palestine and in defense of Lebanon and its steadfast and honorable people. Finally, the text note, our leaders, His Eminence, the Master, is still among us with his thoughts, spirit, line, and sacred approach, and you are in a covenant of loyalty and commitment to resistance and sacrifice until victory. Spokesman Abu Abaida of the Al-Aqsa Brigade expressed his solidarity and condolences to the families and friends of the Lebanese resistance leader. Abu Abaida expressed, we mourn with all meaning of passion and consideration for His Eminence Commander Hassan Nasrallah and his brothers And we remembered his journey full of sacrifices for the sake of liberation of Jerusalem and the blessed Al-Aqsa Mosque, and the honorable stance of supporting our Palestinian people, our resistance, and our legitimate rights, and his intentions on continuing the heroic front of supporting our people and our resistance in the epic of Al-Aqsa Dialogue. Smoke rises as a result of a new Israeli attack in the Beirut's southern suburbs. Israeli fighters' jets launched new raids on residential buildings in the Al-Shia area in the southern suburbs of Beirut, while other bombing raids target homes in the vicinity of the towns of Al-Harab, Midom, and Kid in Tiro. These new aggressions comes hours after the news of the assassination of the Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah. We'll take a very short break, but we'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to From the South. We continue with the Lebanese in the news. In this regard, the president of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, joined the repudiation of the Israeli attacks on Lebanon and the invasion of Gaza Strip. Via social network X, the Turkish leader said, Lebanon and the Lebanese people are the new target of Israel's policies of genocide, occupation, and invasion, which it has been pursuing since October the 7th, As a result of Israel's brutal attacks, many Lebanese, including children, have been killed in the last week. No one with a conscience can accept, excuse, or justify such a massacre. The Israeli government becomes more reckless as it is cuddled by powers that provide it with the weapons and ammunition for its massacres. It defies all humanity. Meanwhile, the president of Cuba, Miguel Díaz-Canel, also rejected the assassination of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah through his social network. The Cuban leader affirmed that we condemn the crowdedly selected assassination of Hassan Nasrallah, Secretary General of Hezbollah, as a result of the attack perpetrated by Israel against residential buildings in the southern suburbs of Beirut, causing destruction and death of innocent civilians. Finally, he sentenced, this fact seriously threatens regional and world peace and security, the total responsibility for which falls on Israel with the complicity of the United States. And the government of Russia joined to the expression of the assassination of the Secretary General of the movement Hamas, Hassan Nasrallah. And the Syrian government condemned the assassination of Hassan Nasrallah during an Israeli attack and decreed 3 days of mourning in his memory. Additionally, they denounced that the Israeli forces continue their aggressive and criminal military campaign against the region by attacking a residential area in the city of Beirut. Damascus warns Tel Aviv is dancing in its resistance of blood shields and committing all kinds of war crimes and crimes against humanity that will lead to an escalation in the region. Therefore, rejects the international silence in the face of these unprecedented crimes in decades. And now changing topics with the UN General Assembly. With the condemnation of the Israeli aggressions against the Gaza Strip and Lebanon, the fifth day of debates of the 79th session of the General Assembly of the UN's organization. At least 193 head of states will participate in these Saturday's events, reaffirming the cooperation and solidarity among member states to mitigate global challenges such as armed conflicts, the humanitarian crisis in territories in conflict, and the effect of climate change. In this regard, it is expected that participants will raise their voices in favor of peace as they did, sustainable development, and in rejection of the international blockade system that prevents progress towards a just future. Let's take our last break, but before we invite you to join us on our YouTube channel at TeleSUR English, where you'll be able to watch our interviews, top stories, special broadcasts, and more. Hit the subscribe button and active the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. One final short break, don't go away. Welcome back. Mexico and the United States have been hit by two powerful cyclones that have so far left more than 60 people dead, severe floodings, and extensive damage to property. According to the most recent reports from Mexican authorities, the passage of Hurricane John has weakened havoc, specifically in the south of the country. So far in the state of Oaxaca and Guerrero, 16 deaths have been recorded and more than 40 people are reported missing. The powerful Category 4 cyclone has submerged several cities underwater. Meanwhile, in the U.S., Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Oklahoma, and the Carolinas were hit by the Hurricane Helene. So far, the federal authorities confirmed 45 deaths and almost 4 million people without electricity. Several citizens said they have had to help each other because help is slow to arrive. In the Mexican coastal city of Acapulco, residents are dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane John while still recovering from Hurricane Otis less than a year ago.
It's been raining for 5 days now, and we're desperate. The supermarkets and grocery stores are closed. The federal, municipal, and state governments need to look at the situation in Acapulco. It is very critical. It is a very difficult situation. We still haven't recovered from Hurricane Otis, and now we seem to be in an even worse situation. How long has this hurricane been going on? The water, the floods, the people drowning. Acapulco is completely destroyed.
In Indonesia, the death toll from landslide and illegal mine has been raised down to 11 with missed counts linked to remote locations. Search efforts have been hardened by the remote location as rescue teams, including police, soldiers, and civilians, have had to walk from hours from the nearest town to reach the area.
The evacuation process was highly challenging. First, we faced difficulties due to severe weather and the extremely rugged terrain. There was also a lack of proper lighting, and the distance from the incident site to a safe location was significant. The estimated travel time for the people carrying out the evacuation, under normal conditions, from the safe location to the incident site is approximately 4 to 5 hours.
Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez announced from Russia that the Bolivarian nation will become a gas exporter for the first time in its history. Rodriguez stated that this after holding a meeting with the Russian authorities and with Mohamed Hamel, Secretary General of the Forum of Gas Exporting Countries. During the meeting, the Vice President reiterated the importance of natural gas as a crucial energy resource and the capabilities of the country, which is one of the nations with the largest gas reserves in the world. The Vice President and the Secretary General agreed that international collaborations will be decisive in the current world context. And in Venezuela, the third meeting of the network of young parliamentarians of Venezuela in 2024 was held at the Federal Legislative Palace with the objective of discussing matters of national interest. In this hemicycle of the governmental headquarters, young people from La Patria Bloc, activists and militants met to discuss topics of interest as well as to debate strategies against fascism and in favor of democracy. The event was attended by deputies to the National Assembly, community councils, and opposition sectors of the country. We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on our socials. We're on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram as well. For TeleSUR English, I'm from the South, I'm Marrero. Thank you for watching.